Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So earlier today, I told you guys that I had heard rumors about the Dallas Mavericks having some type of plan or rumored plans in place to get AD off of us in regards to Kyrie Irving, who's a free agent at the end of this year and will be signing a brand new contract with a brand new team. I just heard Carcino report something that he's getting from his sources that says that AD was actually upset initially at on the day that LeBron passed the all-time scoring record because he was receiving news that the Lakers were trying to move him for Kyrie Irving to Brooklyn, which also don't make no damn sense at all. It makes no sense because Kyrie Irving's at $36 million expiring, Anthony Davis on multi-year contract. And then from there, from what I understand, the Nets wanted all kinds of other stuff on top of that, like Christie and Reeves. And I guess we were sending AD out. I don't know how that even makes any sense. But that's what Carcino was saying. His people was telling him. What I'm telling you is none of that makes any sense in my head. None of that really makes any sense. Now, look, I was the guy telling you guys that we should go after Kyrie Irving. I'm also the guy that told you I had traded Anthony Davis. But I ain't doing those two things in unison. Hell no. And that's what I was saying earlier today. I guess the Nets and the Dallas Mavericks don't understand that there is no logical reason for the Lakers to make any deal with them for players who's a free agent unless the Lakers are inclined to do so for any good reason. And there is none. If I'm going to trade Anthony Davis, I'm getting back pick equity. Lots of it. When I say pick equity, reset time. I'm trading him to reset my timeline. I would still go forward with most of the kids I just traded for because that stays with that timeline. But I'm not trading Anthony Davis for somebody older than him. And I'm not trading Anthony Davis for a guard. Anthony Davis is one of the biggest and the best two-way players in all of basketball, meaning he's going to get steals, blocks, rebounds, points, and affect defense and offense on both sides of the floor outside of that. Kyrie Irving's one of my favorite players in the world, but he's not affecting all of that. So if I'm going to trade Anthony Davis for anyone, it's going to have to be someone who can do all of that for me. You can't just match salary. You're not going to be able to just switch out a body for a body just because they're both Hall of Famers. Nobody's that kind of stupid around here. You got to make that make sense. On top of the fact that Kyrie Irving, and you know I'm all for washing away all of the nonsense that's attached to Kyrie's name because I think most of it is nonsense. But it doesn't mean that when it's time for me to pay for Kyrie Irving's services, I'm going to want to tack on extra price to my, bill as it pertains to that conversation. No, he's worth more until it's time for me to pay for it. Then he's still worth all that other stuff that y'all said he's worth. Because that's how I got to manage my franchise to get the most out of what it is we're trying to do. You got to get the most bang for my buck. Now, as far as all the other owners paying him what he's worth, absolutely. They should. But when it comes to me, oh, no. He's still on the price tag that y'all trying to cap around about his name. So, as far as I could tell, Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and Austin Reeves is not going to get you Kyrie Irving's expiring contract. That's never going to happen. So we get that out the way. So Brooklyn never had a deal in hand. If that was the deal they were going for, they never had one. All that tells me is that Brooklyn was hell-bent on not sending Kyrie here, and therefore they priced the price too high in order for the Lakers to not be able, essentially is what I'm saying to you. So if Anthony Davis was upset about that, I can assure you the Lakers did not offer that deal. If anything, the Nets would have proposed that deal. And then from there, one of LeBron's enemies probably wanted to send you that information to ruin his big day, which is one of the things that I said in the beginning. Is like somebody wanted Anthony Davis to have bad optics on Bron's day. So they gave him some information that would otherwise make him sad. And that's what you got to watch out for. These are the type of things that people do when they don't, you know what I mean? When they got their own agenda wrapped up in things. And that's exactly what I saw there. And that's exactly what I see there now after the fact. It was never no deal. Well, no deal. Nobody's trading all of that for Kyrie Irving's expiring contract, especially in this environment. That's not happening. It's not happening. So I'm not saying that Carcino's lying. I'm saying whoever was doing that was on some other stuff. They were trying to do other things. And what it looked like to me is probably trying to ruin Bron's day. That's what it looked like, by way of messing with his top guy. That's what I see there, man. Also, just the second half of that conversation. Now we got the Nets out the way. We're going to revisit what we already talked about. Dallas needs to understand, you just intercepted Kyrie Irving from us. He was en route to us. Now you're going to step in front of us and essentially say, okay, we're going to price him too high for you as well, so you can't get him in the offseason. If for some reason you want to get him, it's going to cost you your best guy. But he's a free agent. So you're not actually messing with us. You're messing with him. That's what I see there. See, this is a big old elaborate scheme to push Kyrie Irving into a space where he's not positive. Because now they're essentially saying, see, it's going to be impossible for you to get to the Lakers because this is what it's going to take. They're never going to trade you for Anthony Davis. That's what I'm telling you. And that's obviously what he knows. And that's the energy that's supposed to, I guess, spiral him into a space where he's supposed to be negative from here on out. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know if that's what's actually going on. But what I tell you is, it doesn't benefit the Lakers necessarily to rumor about in regards to trading Anthony Davis off the team for a guy that we know we could have got if for not the presence of this blackballing that's attached to his name. We could have got him, but they refused to trade him to us. And they're still screwing with him, because that's indeed screwing with him, because the prize is to come to the Lakers for him. So what they're trying to do is make that look impossible to him. That's what this is. That's all this is. So to me, I'm just saying, look, as a Laker fan, I'm not a part of that. But unfortunately, I'm still going to be on the wrong end of it, because for our best interest, we can't give him what he's worth, keep our team intact the way that we are planning to, and then from there realize his true value once he gets here. Because see, once we do all that overpaying for him, then we get him here, and he's actually the price tag that they're blackballing him for. So when we try to move him, we can't get nothing for him. That's what ends up happening. Then we get stabbed by way of having Kyrie's contract once that takes place. See, I already know it's a lot of different things that can happen in this situation. Because we got enemies that can hurt us. Bron got enemies who want to hurt him. You got Kyrie's enemies who want to hurt him. So this is all a perfect storm for all of them to do all these different things. This is why we got to steer clear of all of this. Because it's meant for us to get not only stabbed, but also hurt the player as well, it seems. So, you know, when people think you've went out of their way to disrespect their people, or if people think that you went out of their way to disrespect the things that matter to them, you're going to have a lot of stuff like this there to see. And that's what there is. And they've labeled this guy an anti-Semite. And unfortunately, he's a black anti-Semite with a lot of talent who also pissed him off in another area. So it's a lot of stuff that they're trying to put on him that's going to look real funny to people like me who are trying to pay attention to what happens with the movement of basketball. It's bigger than basketball. It was bigger than basketball as soon as he didn't take the vaccine. And then from there, posted what he posted. And then from there, however it went, obviously they're still messing with him. And it shows. It absolutely shows. So that's what I see here, man. Anybody who knows how my brain is looking at this? It looks like it looks like a continuation of the blackballing, a continuation of the buck breaking. It looks like more of the same to me, just in a different way. And now it's a different situation. It's almost like being in a pinball machine. You know, you hit up against one thing. Okay, that's what the Brooklyn was. Boom, Kyrie ran up against that. Bow. Now he's run up against Dallas. Boom, there goes that nonsense. And then he's gonna run up against the Lakers. It's like they're trying to frustrate this dude. You know what I mean? Because they know he wants a certain thing, and they know he's defiant to what it is that they want. So it's like, we're gonna ruin every opportunity he gets. Boom. If he wants to go to the Lakers, okay, it's impossible to get to the Lakers. And the Lakers don't want you. And LeBron James doesn't want you. And you're messing with the chemistry because now Anthony Davis is mad at LeBron James because of you. And it's like, listen, at the end of the day, this is why you follow me. Because I'm not going to give you what it is that you're going to get anywhere else. I'm going to give you what it looks like to me. And I'm telling you, this whole thing just looks like a continuation of people, their agendas overlapping, and different people getting a chance to kill two birds with one stone and stuff like that. That's what it looks like to me. And with the collective bargaining negotiations around the corner, I just wonder how this is ultimately going to play itself out. Because I'm not the only one who sees all these angles. I'm not the only one who sees that stuff going on, and what happened in Phoenix, and what happened in Boston, and what happened in Golden State. I mean, nobody forgot any of this, yo. We ain't forgotten none of it. All of it's there to see. You know, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, all right. At the end of the day, we just watched an all-star game that was absolutely impossible to watch. We watched a half a season of basketball where most of the people who watched the game told you that they didn't like the product because it was just inflated in every shape and form. Inflated. You can see the scores are inflated. Guys are falling on the floor getting calls. Guys are getting hit on the head, not getting calls. It's just blatant, and we see it. And it's not just myself. It's a lot of people telling you this. So if the NBA wants to continue to do this, they want to continue to allow other things other than the sport itself to fuel what it is that they're doing. And they got all these different types of agendas coming in the game. Now you got different types of money coming in, and you know their agendas and their interests and their values are going to be coming in with it. It's just going to continue to potentially give you more of what you're seeing here. More of what you're seeing here. As bigger money, bigger foreign guys coming in, you're going to see this. It just is what it is. It's part of it. Unless they find a way to wisen up, step in front of all the nonsense, and regulate the integrity of the sport and the product itself amongst all of the temptation of the money that's coming in. It's a ridiculous amount of money that can now flow into the NBA, and they don't know how to keep themselves intact in the presence of it, is what I'm seeing. They don't know how to keep the fundamentals of what it is they are intact. And they're letting the money to just sway everything that they're doing, and it's becoming an unwatchable product. And so this is just another version of that. It's another division of that. You're seeing it. You know, and it's like they're trying their best to imply that a player must behave a certain way or make the environment itself so very uncomfortable for that player so that other players will know not to behave a certain way when coming into their association. But what I'm telling you is that cannot take precedent. That can't take precedent over the value of the talent itself. You're doing everything you can to keep this player in a space where his mind is capitulating to whatever it is your values are, that you forget that you need to utilize what it is that he does in a short amount of time that he has to play, just like he has a short amount of time to do it. It's like Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest players to ever do what he does. He probably only play for another 5 more years, and you guys are screwing around when you should be displaying his talent without intervening because of personality differences or different value differences. That stuff has nothing to do with the product, has nothing to do with the sport, has nothing to do with any of it. It just has to do with people's values. And this is what I'm telling you. You let the money in, and then the values take precedent over what it is that we're actually doing. And the values don't even back anything that otherwise feeds anybody. Or you know what I mean? It's like, these are just like ideals. Like, I don't like how he views himself or us. So therefore, it's like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Is he dribbling? Is the team winning? Like, you broke up the whole team because of different ideals of that nature, and you want to blame the player. No, the player didn't own anything. The owner broke the team up because his mind couldn't manage what it is that was in front of him, based on his differences and things are getting his way in regards to wanting to let people work for him. And so for me, it's like, look, you got all that going on. The billionaire games will allow him to have friends, even though it don't make no sense for him to behave this way. He still got people who are willing to do for him because of stuff, because of business. And it's just like, man, you want fans to pay for this garbage. And I'm telling you, we're getting tired of it. As fans, we're getting tired of what we're seeing here. We just want basketball to be basketball. You know what I mean? It's much more fun to just go out there and play it than to watch y'all do these millionaire games, buck-breaking racism games, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it looks silly. To be honest with you, it looks absolutely silly. And so that's what it is I wanted to say, man. Rip the Band-Aid all the way off. This is a bunch of nonsense, psychological games people playing on each other, and it ain't got nothing to do with winning. And they're all losers because of it. I cannot stress this enough. Anybody that behaves in this way is just food for players and teams and great ones like Kobe and Auerbach and Michael Jordan. You're going to be one of the teams that they would have beat. That's all you are. Your association would have been dominated by previous leagues that were just better than your league right now, Adam Silver. It is what it is. You would have got mollywopped by a lot of different leagues and tenures because they focused on the sport instead of just luring itself to the endless mountains of money that's ultimately going to drown it any damn way. You're just going to be drowning the money. Like I said, at the end, it's just going to be throwing footballs at the rim. That's all it's going to be. Guys running around, sliding around on tricycles and rollerblades, throwing footballs through an oblong square or something. I'm telling you, it's not going to be basketball anymore. It's not. We're going to look up in the NBA. It's going to be something entirely different. And we're not going to know it. And we're not going to love it. And it's just going to dry out. And I'm telling you, We're trying to prevent that. We're catching it at the root. I see exactly where it's going wrong. And it starts right now, right here with this crap. So I'm telling y'all better get it together. This collective bargaining association, negotiation, whatever stuff. If there's another lockout and the NBA returns like this, they're going to take a hit in the ratings like they've never seen. Do not let people have a bad taste in their mouth about this product, and then y'all going along hiatus because y'all can't get along about numbers. I'm telling you, it's going to be a different energy, especially since the NFL is not shortening off. Soccer's growing. It can be a bad shift. It could be a bad shift. Y'all think Wembanyama going to save y'all. It's going to be a bad shift. So that's all I got to say to the NBA, man. Y'all got to stop this nonsense. Get over this Kyrie Irving crap. Y'all know damn well that man is an anti-Semite. And that's another thing that needs to be said. Myers Leonard's going to be playing with it on a 10-day with the Bucks. This needs to be said, and I'm going to say it and I'm going to mean it. Anti-Semitism is not to be minimalized. Just because they've mischaracterized Kyrie Irving as an anti-Semite does not mean that disrespect toward their people should be accepted and just disregarded. This is a precedent that they're trying to set by allowing Myers Leonard back into this league. Because essentially what they're saying is, if Kyrie can do it, then Myers should be able to do it, and everybody should be able to do it. And what I'm telling you is, that's not what this is. What they did was mischaracterize a person purposely by saying that he was something that he was not. That's not the same thing as saying it's okay to be that. That's not giving a pass for everybody to be that. And that's essentially what they are trying to do. And then the first thing they're going to do is say, well, Kyrie set the precedent for why it's okay to hate Jews. No, he did not. They did by doing this. And it's not okay to hate anybody. So that's what I want to say. That's pretty much all I have to say. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.